In this video, we take a look at 5 great pieces of gear around $2,000 for DJs and producers. Find out which ones those are coming up. Thank you for watching PDot TV, where you'll find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. Now let's get into the video.
So the first item we have up is my current mixer of choice. This is the Rane 72 2-deck performance mixer for Serato DJ Pro. This is basically the top of the line Serato DJ mixer at the moment. It has the most features and to me is the perfect 2-channel mixer if you're a Serato DJ currently. I love the faders on this thing, the pads are great, the screen just gives you so much information, gives you so much possibilities as far as mixing go. The effects are way in depth and give you a lot of different controls and a lot of possibilities as well. And number one, the build quality on this thing, it's built like a tank, like all Rane products. And you know, even though this one is not built in the US anymore, it's built overseas, it still feels like a regular, I shouldn't say regular, but OG Rane product. It feels like it's going to be built to last, and it feels a lot more solid than some of the Pioneer products. Not to say that the Pioneer products aren't built to last, because we know that even though they're a lighter build, those things do last. But Mojax put it best, this is just a bigger, you know, more rugged kind of build quality that Rane's been known for and carries over into this mixer as well. Now the second item I have up is their matching decks. This is the Rane 12 turntable. It's more of a controller than a turntable. This is basically the Rane controller that DJs have been asking for a long time. A turntable without the tone arm that gives you just straight control with the same feel of vinyl without having to worry about things like your cartridge or things like RCA connections and audio signals. It just gives you a straight, clean connection directly for Serato DJ Pro. And just overall, I love the fact that, you know, even though it comes with its own vinyl on it, you can actually replace it with any piece of vinyl that you want, so that's awesome as well as replacing the slip mat underneath, so you can really dial this in to have it to be the kind of feel and the way that you like to play, which is awesome because you don't want to be preset, kind of like on CDJs where you don't have that kind of control. You can only control the tension a little bit. This one, if you're a turntablist or if you come from a turntable background, definitely you're able to dial in the exact kind of feel that you want, and that's so important when it comes to scratching, cutting, juggling, trick mixing, things like that. So if you come from a turntable background and you want something that's next level, that's the next step in turntable, you know, side of technology, this is definitely it. And switching from Rane and the turntablist side of things, this is the Denon DJ SE5000 Prime player. Now I've featured this in the past, and you know, I've been talking about the SE5000M as my next really big piece of gear that I'm gonna buy because I love just all the features that this player, the original SE5000 and the new M, have, from the way that they handle the media, from the way that, you know, you interact with the player with that touchscreen. The controls on this are just so much more intuitive, and you know, just even the search is just so much better on this compared to something like the CDJ 2000 Nexus 2s. Just from the, you know, 8 performance pads at the bottom to just the, you know, color screens, to the fact that you only need one player to actually play 2 decks out of this. So instead of having to buy 2 of these to, you know, do a 2-deck performance, you know, DJs that are on a budget but want, you know, that top of the line gear, you only need 1 of these and a mixer to play a gig instead of having to buy 2 of these and a mixer, which is great. And it's a good way for DJs that have been saving up, that want that professional level gear, to get into it without having to shell out an extra, basically double the price of this. So if you're looking to get a media player and you don't want, you know, moving platters or turntable, this, in my opinion, is the best top of the line media player at the moment. But if you do like, you know, moving platters and turntables and things like that, you might want to look at the SE5000 Prime M or SE5000 M Prime, whichever way it goes. But both of these players just have such great features, and in my opinion, really put Denon in front of Pioneer as far as feature set goes going into the future. Now switching over to the production side of things, we have the Roland System 8. Now this is the bigger brother for, you know, the System 1, and this has Roland's plug out technology, which basically lets you upload tons of different, you know, classic synthesizers, and they get automatically mapped to the keyboard, such as the System 1, which is the smaller 25 key version, and this is the System 8, the bigger 49 key version. And not only is it just, you know, kind of mapping all the controls, but you get that pretty authentic sound of such synths as the Jupiter 8 and the Juno 106. So if you are, you know, old school synth junkie but you want something that's not going to take up that much room in your studio, and you still want those kinds of sounds, and you still want the ability to tweak those sounds and get that real authentic fat sound, this System 8 or the System 1, if you want something smaller, are a great way to go. You get so much control. I love the fact that there's so many controls on the face of the synthesizer, and you're able to dial all those things in just like you would on the older pieces of hardware, all those older analog pieces of hardware that had, like, you know, one-to-one controls where you're not hitting shift and getting to all a bunch of different functions. It's really laid out really well when it comes to, you know, trying to emulate those older pieces of hardware. So if you are an old school synth junkie but you want something that's kind of this era, you know, more modern, this is a great way to go. And finally, we have the behemoth of a synth. This is the Arturia Matrix Brute analog synthesizer. So not only do you get a crazy sick, you know, analog synthesizer with this Matrix Brute, but the fact that it has this crazy, you know, analog matrix on it, where not only is it a sequencer, but it's an arpeggio as well. So there's so much functionality in the synthesizer, and I just love the classic analog look of this thing with the wood panels, and which is how big and impressive this thing looks. If you've seen this in person, this is a piece where if someone walks in your studio and they see this, it just looks so serious. And not only does it just look serious, the sounds that come out of this thing are crazy as well. If you've, you know, heard any of Arturia's Brute series, you know that for the money, you really can't go wrong with any of them. And this top of the line Brute, the Matrix Brute, is no different. If you're looking for some crazy fat analog sounds, this is a great buy.
So that's a look at 5 great pieces of gear around $2,000 for DJs and producers. If you're interested in purchasing any of those, So that's a look at 5 great pieces of gear under $2,000. So that's a look at 5 great pieces of gear around $2,000 for DJs and producers. If you're interested in purchasing any of those, links can be found down below in the description. And as always, if you found this video useful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click right here to subscribe to this channel. Or if you'd like to watch more content, go ahead and click on that video right there. And thank you for watching PDot TV, where you'll find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. See you next time.